Hello everyone, I've had a request to do a build guide in this truck, so here we go. This is probably gonna be a rather long video, so I will add timestamps in the description. Starting off with the 3 frame pieces. To connect these you need 4 M4x20 screws and 4 M4 nuts. You can also slide in rods that would be 4x80mm to strengthen the frame more, but I have driven it without them and it has worked fine. The middle frame you have to slide in the M4 nuts from above, and on the rear frame you insert them from inside the frame. Next up is the 6 shock mounts. These attach with the M3x14 screws. I used countersunk ones to avoid hitting the shocks later on. Finally, attach the motor mount with 2 M3x16 screws. It is easier to attach the motor before you do this, but I'm currently using that specific motor for another project. The steering servo would attach up front like this with M4x10 screws. Any standard size servo should fit this. Let's have a quick look at the drive shafts. Each drive shaft is basically 4 to 5 separate pieces, depending on how you look at it. The first one is the U-joint and the shaft, glued and screwed together. This is the connection block that goes inside the U-joint. And finally the other end of the U-joint, in this case the motor's U-joint. Not shown is the other end of the telescopic shaft, which is a hollow shaft with integrated U-joints. You assemble the joints with M3x8 grub screws. These should be able to slide through the U-joint but thread into the little connection block. Tighten them carefully, you will strip these threads quite easy and they don't need to be that tight. And that's one complete U-joint. It's the same assembly principle no matter if it's a drive shaft or inside the front axle. The main gear would be 3 pieces that you push together and they should lock with a friction fit. If they're too loose you should reprint or glue them depending on how loose they are. If they're too tight you can usually just use a file or a sandpaper to get it down to dimension. Put on the 2 bearings and then the U-joints and lock them in place with countersunk M3x14 screws. This greatly increases their strength. Now insert a bearing into the wall of the transfer case. Push the smaller gear in from the other side and then follow up with another bearing. Finally, put the U-joint in place and lock it with a screw. You can now attach the bottom lid with 2 M3x10 screws. And attach it to the frame with 2 M3x16 screws. Make sure you have the 2 joints facing the motor mount. Alright, let's assemble the front axle. Starting with the pinion gear, put a bearing on it and lock it in place with the U-joint and a countersunk M3x14 screw. The front axle has 2 U-joints that is assembled like previously shown. The drive shafts get pushed into the ring gear and locks with a friction fit. Make sure you put 2 bearings on each side before you screw on the U-joints. With the pinion, ring gear and drive shafts assembled, you can put it in the case and close the axle up. For this you need 6 M3 nuts and 6 M3x10 screws. These white pieces are the steering hubs. Put a bearing in it and slide it over the drive shaft that's hanging loose out of the axle. Lock the steering hub in place with 2 M3x8 grub screws. The screw should slide through the axle part but thread into the steering hub. You can use regular screws here, but be careful so they don't tighten against the axle itself, as that will lock up your steering. Attach the steering bar to link the hubs together. It uses one M3x10 and one M3x25 screw. Pay attention to which side I mounted the short one on. Don't tighten either of these all the way in. You want minimal slack or gap, but at the same time no added friction from the two pieces rubbing together. You can mount whatever linkage you want or need to attach to your servo of choice. I have this adjustable thing I found on eBay. That's the axle itself done. Time for the shocks. If I remember correctly, these are 80mm shocks bought from some random shop on eBay. They attach with 2.5mm screws that were shipped with them. Use the outside of the center hole on the side with 3 holes and the upper hole on the side with 2 holes. Now we need to mount the panhard rod and the 3 linkages. Panhard rod is 73.2mm between the bolts, and the other 3 rods are 63mm between the bolts. All 3 axles use the same length for all the linkages. The actual rod length will vary depending on your rod ends, as some are shorter than others. All of these attach with M3x16 screws. They can be quite tricky to get in place, but definitely doable. With the linkages done, we can strap it to the frame we previously assembled. This version uses nuts in the frame for a more secure mount of the 3 suspension links. The panhard doesn't seem to suffer the same stress, so it screws right into the frame. In total, you need 4 M3x16 and 3 M3 nuts to attach each axle to the frame. The M3 nut goes in from the outside and then you screw the links from inside the frame. Sometimes it helps to use a bolt or a screwdriver to hold the nut in so it grabs the screw easier. If you have already installed your servo, you might as well connect the steering linkage at this stage. Attach the upper ends of the shocks to the shock mounts. I used the supplied 2.5mm screws. With all of this attached, it should still move quite freely. Go ahead and install the front drive shaft. If you have the motor installed, you can also install the drive shaft up to the motor. With the complex bits in place, we can put the rims and tires on it. It's important that you use M3x16 screws to lock the rim to the drive shaft, as this drastically increases the strength and durability of it. I've added a small washer to these screws, as they otherwise can get sucked through the rim if you're driving rough. I tested this with both printed and bought tires. Both work fine, so it's up to you. There we go, 1 out of 3 axles done. The tandem axle is much like the front axle, but even easier since it doesn't steer. I won't go through every step here, as it's mostly the same as previously shown. You have your 2 pinion gears, the ring gear with drive shafts, and 2 halves of the axle casing. I have already attached parts of the drive shafts here to save some time. The longer one will go towards the front and the transfer case. The shorter one will go to the rear axle. Put everything into place, close the halves and screw on the linkages and shocks. Screw it into the frame, much like the front axle. I'm using little spacers here between the rod ends and frame, pretty much only because these rod ends are not suitable for this kind of joint as they sit too close. I would recommend buying the kind of rod ends with a built-in spacer. With the linkages and shocks attached, you can mount the last part of the front going drive shaft. And finally, slap some rims and tires on it. For the rear axles, I recommend using M3x25 for added strength. It acts both as a fastener for the rim and reinforcement for the plastic drive shafts. Again, you can use either Tamiya truck tires or print the ones I have on Thingiverse. It's almost starting to look like something by now. Time for the final part, the rearmost axle. It's the exact same installation as for the tandem axle, minus 1 pinion gear. I ran out of Tamiya tires here and used printed ones instead. Again, used the long M3x25 screws here for strength. And that's the entire truck assembled. There's an optional flatbed, or rather tray, available for download as well, highlighted in green. I found this useful for strapping the electronics and battery to, but it's not required to use the truck, and it's quite ugly to be honest. So this took me almost 2 days to film, edit, voiceover and release, so hopefully someone finds it useful. Thanks for watching, and if you wish to help support these projects, please check out the Gearbest links in the description. If you have any unanswered questions, just let me know in the comment section and I will try to help out.